Howdy y'all, Mojang Lac Lives. I think it's time to play a little Minecraft. Man, this room turned out pretty good, I think. So I guess we need to pick another room to work with. What do you think? I like the way the bathroom turned out too. I thought that turned out pretty good. Yeah, I just loaded up the I just loaded up the wrong snapshot in here. I don't know what I was thinking. But I totally loaded up 14W21B, which came out in May. That is not correct. Alright. I do not remember if this room... what kind of carpet this room had. I'm going to guess brown. I think we just had a lot of brown carpet in the house. Is that not how you make a bed? You gotta be at the bottom, do you? Oh no, yeah, that would be a very uncomfortable bed. Blocks of quartz. I thought that was wool. It wasn't wool. Here? I think not my room. I don't remember. When I was a kid, this was one of my bedrooms. In fact, this was my bedroom when I was really young, like 4 or 5. And I think I told this story in here already, but this was oh, that's the wrong color. This was we got gravel to redo the driveway because our driveway was a gravel driveway, and so there's right outside here is a big tree right here, just a big tree, and so the driveway's next to that, right? And so next to that tree was this huge pile of gravel, and the first time I ever got grounded was in that room. I remember. In fact, that might be the only time I ever got grounded. That was not a form of punishment at our house, really. But yeah, we were out there playing, and my sister, I don't remember what she did, but I had a spoon, and I smacked her hand with it. I got in trouble for that. I was probably like 5 or 4. What did I come out here for? Oh yeah, Oakwood. There we go. Yeah, I shared that bedroom. Had bunk beds when I was a kid, and shared that bedroom. Actually, I think they did a lot of painting, if I remember. Not me. I never was much of a painter like that. So, but my roommate, I guess, they did a lot of painting, and so there was always like the easel in the corner, and you know, rack of paints and stuff, palettes and brushes and things like that. All right, let's get you out of here. What else goes in this room? I think there's a table goes right here. And I'll bet there's a table that goes right here as well. Really? You don't want to go on that? That was weird. I don't know why it wouldn't go. Oh, because I was standing in this space. We're going to have to get some more carpet down to be able to do this. Let me go find some brown wool so we got some brown carpet. Or maybe some brown carpet. I might just have brown carpet. Now, the guy whose bedroom it was when we moved, he's a huge hunter, I guess. And so he had it all decorated hunter style. You know, actually, his wall might have been not camouflage, but part of it was camouflage. But I think he might have had like a big, outdoor image with a deer, maybe. I honestly don't remember. Man, really? I don't have any brown carpet. I use it. Am I pushing the wrong button? What is going on here? Oh yeah, this is Minecraft. Shift is not run. Shift is don't fall off. Oh. Hey. Stop it. Oak, oak, oak. Spruce. You know, this is why. This is why I made that huge contraption that vanished on me. Because I can't keep my stuff straight. There we go. Brown carpet. You can burn up in the sun, dude. What is going on out there? Y'all... Oh, he hopped right up on the... Now you're dead. Now you're dead. I'm going back inside to work on this some more. Out of the way, Christmas tree. Alright, let's get some carpet down here, and then we put the white carpet on top of that. There we go. And then let's get the brown carpet down. I should have brought some more table legs. Forgot about that. I'll get him in here later. Yeah, there we go. I know he had his table right next to his bed. Because that's where he cleaned his guns. That's what the cork board was for on the wall there. That's where he hung his guns. Man, I don't remember. That's probably about all there is to this room. It's not very big, so I don't really keep a lot of stuff in there. This corner was like cases, gun cases, bow case, that kind of thing. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for here. I can't really remember any other stories about that room. Nothing really. I don't know. That's my bedroom when I was a kid, so I don't really remember that well. So let's pick another room. Ooh. We should do this room. There isn't really much to this room, honestly. This was the laundry room. Oh, now we need more carpet. And also one of my bedrooms when I was a kid. I think almost every bedroom type room in the house I had as my bedroom at one point or another. My mother likes to rearrange things constantly, so we were always pull everything out of the room, scrub the room down to the walls, and then move to a new room, pull everything out of the room, scrub it down to the walls. She'd probably scrub it down to the studs if she was able to do that. I fixed her sink sometimes, and I'm pretty sure she scrubs that thing to the point where it starts leaking water again. She doesn't like the little ring of plumber's putty that's around the drain, so she scrubs it out. Even though that's the reason it leaks. Yep. Alright. Yeah, it was, you know what? I totally just went out there and I clipped black sheep and white sheep and did not clip the brown sheep for the brown wool that I specifically went down there for. So when I moved bedrooms, that was probably my second bedroom, and then I went back to that bedroom later. But I remember I remember being in there for a long time. I shared that one with a couple of different people, and bunk beds, of course. Uh, I remember probably my first nightmare I had, and I don't really have nightmares, so my first dream that woke me up, let's call it that. I wasn't particularly scared. It just woke me up. Um, but I was in bed and and I was sure there were giant ants. Like not car-sized giant ants. I mean like uh I don't know, apple-sized giant ants crawling on my blanket. And so I woke up and um was shaking my blanket off over the edge of the over the edge of the bunk bed um, to get the ants off. All right. All right. Now this room did not have a ceiling fan. It just had a light. And it had a big cupboard that was over top of the washer and dryer, which would go right here. And that was pretty much it in the whole room. Uh, we had a rack that we kept our clothes on. You know what? Let me put up a... Can we do a rack here? I'm going to need another piece of fence here. Um, I also remember... Oh, man. I remember this one time. Uh, I was a little older. Uh, so I shared that room when I was a kid, like 5, 6, somewhere in there. And then later I came back to that room and shared it with my brother. And that's when I had the whole ant thing. And then, um, and so it must have been the first time I was in that room. I was, I might have been a little older. I would, there was a light on the wall, which isn't there at this point in the house's life because I replaced all the wiring in that room because it was terrible. But the there was this light next to the bed, and it didn't. Oh, yep. See, I've done that before. It didn't always work, and or it kept blowing light bulbs, so they stopped putting light bulbs in it, or something. I don't remember exactly what the deal was with it, but uh so it didn't have a light bulb in it. Maybe it just didn't have a light bulb in it because it was next to the bunk bed and they didn't want me to break the bunk bed. And so you can imagine the bunk beds were like right here. This room was bigger than this. This room got squished down by the bathroom. So the bunk bed went right here, and so there's this light right here on the wall, and so I'm gonna do one more here, and then actually let's break this down. I'm gonna take that out of there. Oh, and then I still need one more. Dang it! I'm gonna have to go make some more fence. And so there's no light bulb in it, and I had this bank that you put quarters into, just quarters, and it had like I don't remember exactly what was on the side of it, but it was like a thing you count up. Uh, like maybe the theme of the bank was vacation, and so as you put the quarters in, it was like what kind of vacation you could have or something on the sides, and it was basically just a plastic tube on a little thin piece of press board with words down the side. Yeah, there we go. That's the rack that everybody kept their dress clothes and things like that hung on. Since we didn't have closets, we just kept them in the laundry room. Oh, we need a bathroom door here. Let me go get a. Yeah, let me go get a door. I don't have one on me. And so I had taken out one of the quarters, and I might have been in trouble that time too. Um, and so I'd been sent to bed early, maybe, is what had happened. Or maybe I was just in my room because I read a lot, and so uh, I like to read while I'm in my bed. And so there's a lot of times I just go to bed to go read. So I might have been doing that. I'm pretty sure I must have been in trouble though. Or you know what? I'll bet it was. It was just bedtime. Because when I was a kid, we had bedtimes, and so bedtime would have been about. I don't know which side to do this from. I don't think it matters. Oop, yeah, it does. It does matter. Yeah, there we go. And so I'm laying in bed and supposed to be going to sleep, and I remember my parents were gone somewhere, and so my grandmother was watching us, and and so I had taken one of those quarters, and I was pretending it was a spaceship. And so I was flying it around, and so I pretended, or imagined, or however you want to say it, that that light without the light bulb in it, so it was just an open socket. I imagined that it was the spaceship's landing pad, and so when I went to land my quarter on top of this light, the quarter actually fell into the light, and so when it did that, the light was on. Not that there was a light in it, but the light was on, and so that quarter completed the circuit and just exploded. Well, it didn't explode, I guess, but it blew the breakers and stuff. Or no, you know what? It didn't blow the breakers. But I think it might have sparked, and so I stuck my fingers in there to pull that to pull that quarter out, and that's when the breakers blew. Oh man, I that's probably the second most painful thing I've ever done was sticking my fingers in that light socket to get that quarter out. Holy crap, did that hurt? Uh, uh, yeah, that was something else. Whew. All the lights in this, because the wiring in the house was really bad. Um, like, so the house is built, you know, over 100 years ago, and so the wiring was put in whenever they invented electric wires to put in. I imagine. It didn't have wiring when it started, and so it was added later. And so whoever put the wiring in just ran wires so that the different rooms would have electricity. And so the breaker box is down here in the basement in this corner. It would be right here. And so with the breaker box there, you'd think that they would spin off and each room would have its own section, but no. The wiring from the breaker box to the kitchen also ran to this room here, not the living room, but the room above it. Not this room. This room was connected to the kitchen. These two rooms were on a different wire, and I think this room was also connected to the kitchen breaker, even though this room was above a totally different section of the house. And so that back bedroom was connected to the living room, so this room here. And so when I stuck my fingers in there and to get that quarter out because it was sparking. It blew the breakers in the house. Oh man, all the lights go out and my whole arm just goes numb. I couldn't feel anything. It went numb after it felt like somebody had crushed my hand in some kind of vice. And yeah, it was. Don't stick your hand in a light socket. Don't do that. I've discovered it's painful. Um, Very painful. The first most painful thing I ever did, and it's the thing I compare all pain to, is when I was in high school. I had horrible ingrown toenails actually on both my feet, and which is great because I was in sports, and so I would go and play soccer. Um, and basketball and stuff with these ingrown toenails. And when soccer would get over, my shoes would just be full of, well, I guess not my shoes, but my socks would just be a wet red mess from my poor toes. Eventually got it fixed. We kept going to the doctor for it, and he just, you think I could finagle 2 different doors in here? Yeah, there we go. This door had a storm door. So, storm door. Actual door. There we go. And so, the most painful thing I've ever done, is I took a broadhead arrow, which is basically a broadhead for an arrow for hunting like deer, is just this little metal point with razor blades sticking out of the sides. I took one of those and a pair of pliers, and it hurts just thinking about it. Ugh. And a pair of tweezers, and I cut my toenails down the edges next to the side of my toe, whatever that's called, and pulled those nails out. Just the sides, not the whole nail, just the sides. That's the most painful thing I've ever done. And every time I'm in pain, it gets compared to that. So when they're like, does it hurt on a scale of 1 to 10? Well, that being 10, I think 6 is probably the closest anything's ever gotten. That's not true. I think I had a couple of 8s when I was in my 20s. I thought I was dying one time. This has nothing to do with fixing up that room, but there was this one time when oh, you know what? We need some quartz stairs, I think, for this next part. But I think I had, I don't know, something to the point where I was taking Advil and Tylenol, and it hurt so bad that for like 3 straight weeks I took Tylenol every 4 hours and Advil every 4 hours, but I had alternated their hours, and so I would take the Tylenol, and then 2 hours later I would take the Advil, and then I just kept doing that. Tylenol, then the Advil. I wonder if these wouldn't look better if they were too wide. Oh no, look, they'd look great if they were just side by side. Whoops, whoops, you went crazy on me. Look at that's my washer and dryer. um, and whatever it was in my side. It wasn't like my appendix. I think maybe it was like a gallstone. And so I I had I didn't have health insurance at the time, and so I had gotten health insurance because I was having these attacks, and it would happen, and it would last like 3 or 4 hours at night, and it would just be like a knife stabbing me in the side, and my sister, she has the same thing, and so she has gone to the doctor, for this and had surgery and stuff, and so it's for her, anyways. It's something to do with um, the muscles that control the bile duct jam up, and they don't release the bile, and so it causes extreme pain and gallstones and stuff like that. And so I just figured I was having the same thing because it's genetic apparently, and because it was the exact same symptoms as she had, um, and I was worried it might be appendicitis, but it's in the wrong spot for that. And so I had gotten health insurance because I was gonna go to the doctor and have him cut out my gallbladder or whatever. And so the last like 3 weeks before my health insurance kicked in was just terrible. And then like I said, I was taking Advil every 4 hours, and then 2 hours after I'd take that, I'd take Tylenol, just back and forth the whole time, and I was just in constant pain. And so, would you believe that as soon as I got health insurance, like 2 days before, the pain stopped, and then my health insurance kicked in, and I haven't had that happen since. It's too funny. Still, that was only like maybe a 7 or an 8 compared to the toes. Yeah. I eventually I mean they were bad problem. Both sides of my big toes were would ingrow, which means that the nails grow into your toe, and it's the sides, like where they're supposed to be connected, would just grow out on the inside. And so I would go. We went to the general doctor, family doctor guy, and he would spray my toes down with I don't know, some kind of freezing spray, and then he would go in with a pair of scissors and surgical scissors or whatever, and cut both toenails down the sides, and then pull it out, and then wrap up my toes and send me home. And and yeah, here. And so we did that like 3 times, and then we went to a podiatrist, and he eventually, like, I think he did that one time, and then he's like, yeah, these are just never gonna stop growing back. So he went in with cut it out, and then pulled the sides of my toes and the backs of my where your toenails are at out, and put some kind of chemical in there to destroy the roots. So now I just don't have toenails that grow on the sides. I mean, he cut them close enough that it doesn't look like there's any difference on my toes, but they're no longer they no longer grow down the sides of my big toes, which was great because it stopped my big toes from hurting so bad. Um, I do also remember I cut my toenails really short, and he told me that was a problem. And if I let my toenails grow out too long, then my toes ache. And I told him that, and he's like, "Well, I'm sure they do." And that was it. That was his whole explanation. I'm like, "Well, my toes ache if the toenails get too long." "I'm sure they do." "You just told me to stop cutting them and that I need to let them grow longer. I'm telling you that when I let them grow longer, it hurts." And you're like, "Yep." Guess what? I still cut my toenails short. Sorry, podiatrist, I didn't take your advice. Or medical advice, I guess. His medical advice was to let my toenails grow out. I can't stand it. I still keep them really short. I'm sure you wanted to hear all about my toenails. I'm sure you did. It was in that room, the one the laundry room there. That's the bedroom I had when I had all those toe problems. Oh man, I still remember and that was, whew, I was in junior high, high school. I was in high school, I guess, when that all happened with the toes. And that was a while ago for me, so. I mean, I'm graduated from college now, so, it's been quite a while. Alright, so we got a couple of rooms done today. Not bad, not bad. I do kind of like the way that quartz looks. Oh, man. Creepers are not allowed. I do like the way this quartz looks for the washer and dryer. I think that looks pretty good. Although I wish maybe I should move them down one. Let me do that. Dang it, did you knock out too much stuff again? I wish you were a little less hyper about putting holes in things, man. Let's just move this over one so it's in the middle. Oh, you know what else is missing? Real quick, I wanna put in. Oh, I got some blue on me. It's the wrong color blue though. Let me go get some other blue. We had this big old bucket that we put our clothes in. We still have one. We still use it. It's a different color than the one that we had here though. It's really funny. I don't know why it was a thing, but for some reason at our house, for our clothes, we have a clothes bucket. And it's just this big, oh dang it, I know I've got some cyan wool here somewhere. It's just this big plastic tub. It's got handles on the side. I think it's for beach stuff or something. And that's, what did I just do? That's where, seriously, how many times do I have to click? You're doing it again. I've been playing a first-person shooter that uses the left mouse click to shoot. Not once have I not shot when I push the trigger of the left mouse button. But for some reason, on these games with inventories, it just acts like I'm not clicking. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Not there. Here. There we go. And that's the bucket where we'd throw the dirty clothes. And then whenever it got full, whoever filled it up throws it in the washer, it washes, they throw it in the dryer, and if they need to be hung up, they get hung up on the rack right there. Just like that. That actually looks pretty good, I think. Alright, click like, subscribe, be sure and catch the next one. I will talk to you later.